everyone. First of all, I really wanted to express my gratitude for the overwhelming amount of support and kindness and understanding that I received in my collaboration video with Kyoto Moments. We weren't expecting this much views and even more so, I wasn't expecting so much kindness in the world. So I spoke in the video from my Japanese American experience, but there are so many overlaps with other people of the world. And for the people that shared their personal experiences, thank you for having the courage to writing it, because I know that having your thoughts, putting them in your voice, and then writing them down to see these words coming out of you kind of makes it real. And I know how hard that is. So I really want to thank you for that courage. I wanted to share the backstory of the video. Kyoto Moments and I wanted to collaborate in something that was showing Japan. At that time, what came to mind was the shadows that exist in Japan. And so we had the theme, we had the mood board, but we didn't have the voice. So Kyoto Moments suggested that maybe I should record my voice and talk about it. This is still the beginning of my YouTube journey, and so I'm extremely awkward and very nervous in public speaking. So even this recording is just very nerve-wracking. But I knew I had to rip the band-aid at some point. I brainstormed, I wrote down all my thoughts, and a lot of it came from previous conversations I've had with friends or experiences, what I've seen with my kids and what they experience at school, elementary school, what I see on the streets, like what I see around the neighborhood. I just recorded it, like it was all free flow. And then I sent the audio file to Kyoto Moments, and then he said, hey, I'm experiencing these things at work right now. He's not Japanese, he's not American, he's a foreigner that lives in Japan. And a few days later, we shot the video. Now, this was in the end of June. I've been dealing with mental health for since elementary school. And the biggest progress I've made was 2021. That's a whole nother story. What I'm trying to get at is after June, what I wanted to deep dive into was gratitude. That was my focus for the last couple months, and it's still going. While we were going through the video, the subtitles, what has to change, I was listening to it over and over and over again. I realized this is quite negative, and I understood that. I noticed it. And that's actually kind of big, because that's how much progress I made to recognize that 2 months ago, I was a negative person, which I'm not denying or I'm not diminishing. I think I'm actually kind of proud of how far I've come, and that was also a part of me, and that's okay. When I received the negative comments, and negative comments are everywhere, whatever, I'm not worried about it. I actually agreed with them when someone said there's so much complaining or it's so negative and pessimistic. Yes, it is. I believe that there is a place for this video to stay out in the world, because there are going to be people that experience this stage or are in it right now, and I want them to know that they're not alone. However, if I were to change one thing, is that I lacked showing the light. It's a fact that shadow exists because there's light. And Japan is not all terrible. Japan's not all shadows. A lot of people have visited Japan and live in Japan and experience lots of positive parts of it. In closing, in the beginning of the video, I wrote some Japanese words. Number one is ayamari. There's two meanings for ayamari. One is apology, and two is mistake. They're both different characters in Japanese, and I chose the mistake. Now, my mistake was not having faith in the power of my words. The second is hansei. Hansei means accepting my wrongdoing and kind of making a promise, but not that harsh. Just to promise that you will improve. My hansei is I'll take responsibility for my words. I'd like to make more videos talking about shadows and light. Now the third word that I wrote in the beginning was seicho. Seicho means growth. My growth is that I'll continue on growing as a person and improving. And I'd like to share how I improve in, for example, mental health and dealing with anxiety and dealing with the hardships of this culture and finding peace with what I previously experienced as hardships and sadness and stress and whatever it is. Some of the comments I received said, and I truly believe it, is that I could try moving somewhere. And before those comments came, I already know this. I need to battle my inner world. I need to battle my inner war and find peace within. Otherwise, it's just going to be the same thing wherever else I go in the world. And so I'd like to explore that myself, and I'd like to share how I get there with other people in my future content. And I hope to become a bridge between Japan and the world to make the world a better place. I hope to see you again. And I truly, truly thank you for all your support, kindness, understanding, and patience. Thank you. 緊張した。